Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Mysteries of Black and White with your two hosts, me, Eddie, and my main man, Josh. How you getting on, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Really good, actually. Just come back from your stag. I want to say wedding, but that's a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Come back from your stag.
Yeah.
Really good time.
Oh, I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
every second of it.
That was the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, I got a bit too messy the first night, and it kind of... I'm still feeling it now. And
Yeah.
about 3 days out. So
It's your stag. You had to, though.
I'll tell you what, crack and rum is so nice, but it's the fucking devil juice. I'm telling you, that got me writ off.
Brilliant.
But no, that was absolutely fantastic. I want to say I have a big shout out to Lewis, who was a guest on the Aliens episode. A big shout out to him for organising it. I mean, he's my best man, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I couldn't have had any better people there. I couldn't have done anything. It was fantastic.
Perfect.
I loved every second of it.
Without going into details as well, it drastically changed last minute from what it originally was.
Yeah,
Like,
it
obviously,
did,
like I said, we won't go into details, but it badly changed.
Yeah.
We were like stranded more or less, like what the fuck we gonna do? So for him to
He
pull it out the bag like that last minute was incredible.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Everyone was fantastic. I mean, we camped, and on the Friday it was 32 degrees. It was blood fucking hot, and then Saturday it pissed down all day.
Like ultimate drastic change in the weather.
I'll be surprised
24 hours was ridiculous.
I'll be surprised if not all of us get ill.
I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck? I really thought I was going to come back like, I'm dying.
Yeah. I mean, I was Saturday, but...
Oh, yeah.
But no, absolutely brilliant weekend.
Yeah.
And, it's made me more excited for my wedding now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really has.
Brilliant.
This episode, it's not really... it's not a conspiracy. It's not a... It wouldn't even really say it's a mystery.
No.
It's more of like, it's because it's creepy.
Yeah. I think the only thing you could tie in mystery is like...
The human
why.
mind.
Yeah, why and...
Yeah, what caused it.
Yeah.
But on this episode, we are talking about one of the most notorious, infamous serial killers in America, which is Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Which I know, I wouldn't say we're buzzing for it because it's tragic of what he done.
Yeah.
But I think the large population now, they love serial killer documentaries.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a bit like that intrigued.
Yeah, like I said, it is a case of what drove them to that.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like with people like Ted Bundy, or like if you're in the UK, people like Ian Brady and all them, you know about them, you know they were vile pieces of shit and what they done.
Yeah.
But it's what led them to that. You don't just wake up one day and go, I fancy killing someone.
Yeah, what made them tick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it's more for it's like fascinating more than anything, I'd say. But we've been looking forward to discussing it.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, we love everything creepy on here. And also, before we get too involved, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been sending in questions.
Yeah.
And this last episode's going to be a banger, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not over yet. If you've got any questions, please send them in. Send them into our Facebook. Like DM us. Send us to our Instagram, to our email, which we'll let out at the end of this episode. And yeah, and I hope again you enjoy this episode as much as our others.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Also, I've got to say quickly as well, this is the first episode we've recorded that's going out on the same day.
Yeah.
Like normally we record like 2-3 episodes in advance.
Yeah.
The fact that this one's going out later tonight is, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, like I say, we've been busy. I had my stag do and everything, which was mint. But yeah, so it's our first serial killer.
Yeah.
through the whole thing, we've been saying like, oh, we're going to be doing like mentioning serial killers
Yeah.
and doing serial killers and that, and the amount of times people have asked me like, when are you doing one? When are you doing one?
Yeah.
And so we've had to change a few bits, like from what our rota was going to be, but we've got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, season 2 will, like, obviously, because we're basing it all on the British Isles.
Yeah.
The majority of mine are going to be serial killers.
Yeah.
But obviously, we can't not do any this season, especially with America having some of the most notorious ones. I mean, in my opinion, Ted Bundy is number one.
Yeah, when you think of American serial
notorious serial killers, he is number one right there.
For me, I'd say the same. It's either Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah,
them two or Zodiac.
Yeah,
which I think we have got an episode on the Zodiac.
Yeah.
So that'll be that's more of a mystery, really.
Yeah,
no one knows who he fucking is.
Yeah.
But we definitely know Ted Bundy. There's been a number of films, isn't there? So. Like the latest one with Zac Efron.
Yeah.
What's it called again? Extremely Wicked.
Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile.
That's it. And I must say, he portrayed Ted Bundy incredible.
Perfect, yeah.
Incredible.
It was good seeing him in that sort of role as well, because obviously when you think of Zac Efron, you think of, High School Musical, dancing about, singing, la-di-da, look at me.
Playing a pretty boy, a jock, or something like that.
You never would have thought he would have gone to play this guy.
Yeah, one of the most, like you say, the most notorious serial killer in American modern history.
Yeah. So,
without further ado, Josh, take her away, my boy.
Right. So, during the years of 1974 to 1978, Theodore Robert Bundy had kidnapped, raped and murdered at least 30 women, with 2 of them being just 12 years old.
Was it 2 at 12?
2 at 12 years old.
I knew about 1. I didn't know there was 2.
Which is horrible. Now, before I get in depth about this, I'm going to say this now. We mean no disrespect to anyone who's been, what's the word I'm looking for? Affected by this, like families of the victims or even some of the survivors.
Yeah, because it was,
we don't mean any disrespect, and for that reason I am not going to name any of the victims. I know it is so many of them are common knowledge, but I am not going to name them simply because out of respect, because I don't think it's fair on them or their families to glamorise what this guy done to them people, because they were genuine people. You see it in like you said with the film and that, and there's films all the times with serial killers or craze killers, and you see the brutality that they cause in films and that, and it's like in real life it's on another level, especially with this guy. So I'm not gonna name the victims or anything like that.
That is fair enough, and we're not glamorising Ted Bundy.
No, of course we're not,
because he is a sick fuck. He's an evil bastard, and what happened to him, like getting electrocuted, was the least they could have done. Because he's extremely wicked. Shockingly evil and vile.
So, but like we said, and this goes with every serial killer we do, where it's a case of we'll talk about what they did, but we're mainly talking about what led them to do it, and do you know what I mean? What happened to them? So, going off what I just said, although he was initially convicted of kidnap and assault, it is suspected that he raped and killed up to 100 young women. That's why he's so notorious.
Because I've even heard some people say it could have been 200. Like
they really don't know.
No. And now they never will.
No, that's the sad reality of it.
Yeah, but I can understand. It's a waste of oxygen having that kind of
life.
So.
It's like I know the families of the victims will want justice. They want to know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's almost. I can't speak on their behalf.
No.
But if I was in their point of view, I'd look at it almost bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because you've seen what he's done to some of these how viciously he's attacked some of these women.
Yeah.
If my daughter, sister, mother, whatever, was murdered, I'd almost not want to know that it was him, because then I'd know how bad it really was.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I can't speak on their behalf. They could be completely different. It's like, no, we want to know.
Yeah.
For peace of mind, what happened to our
which is,
kid,
fair.
mum, sister,
fair.
whatever. But he was not only ruthless, but he was sadistic as well, with him known to break bones of his victims and mutilate them before he killed them.
So while they were still alive?
Yeah.
He was now.
Like, the film title, I know it's a really long bloody title, but he really was that.
He was that, to a T.
And in 1978, he was finally arrested and incarcerated at Leon County Jail in Florida. But the thing that separates him from most serial killers is his attitude and demeanour.
Yeah.
Because he was known to be funny, charismatic, charming, intelligent, and this is why he was so dangerous, because he had this persona, but deep down he was just a cold, ruthless, heartless psychopath.
And to a lot of women, he was good looking.
Yeah.
You know, like you say, he was handsome. Like you say, he was charming and everything. You know, it's so easy to fall under that spell.
Even his court trial.
Yeah.
It was just full of, like, young women who just adored him.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, do you not realise what he's
done? For? Yeah. Because I remember seeing like interviews of that, like with some of the women who attended. They were like, "No, I don't think he's." I mean, they were like, "Just look at him." Does he?
They were just
They were so blinded
Yeah.
by his looks that they were like, "I can't see him being like
no."
that."
But I think that is why he was able to get away with it so easily.
For so long
For so
as well.
long.
Yeah, and like you say, he was very clever. I mean, he was studying to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, he represented himself.
Yeah.
In his own trial. That's how intelligent this guy was.
Yeah.
But that's just like a little brief story of him. So I'll go on to his past life now. So Theodore Robert Bundy was born in 1946 on the 24th of November in Burlington, Vermont. He was born at a place called the Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers. And during this time in the US, it was really frowned upon to be born out of wedlock and not have that like family unit.
Yeah.
So he's already, from the day he was born.
From day dot.
Yeah. So to avoid this, his mum Eleanor moved back into her parents' home in Philadelphia, where Eleanor's parents raised him as their own.
Oh, right.
So Ted was actually brought up thinking that his actual mother was his sister.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. And this lasted for about 4 years. And during this 4 years, it was known that Ted's granddad, who he's been brought up as his dad, was also quite an abusive man. Not necessarily towards Ted, but Ted was obviously witnessed it growing up in that household.
Right, okay, yeah.
And when Ted was 4 years old, his biological mum, along with Ted, moved to Washington, and in 1951, Eleanor married a man called Johnny Bundy. Hence where Ted got the name Bundy from.
Ah, right.
I don't actually know what his original maiden name was.
No, I'm not sure. No, I couldn't tell you.
But the Paradis officially adopted Ted and also had 4 further children who Ted apparently did not get along with.
No.
And during this whole time, he still believed that his mum was his sister.
Oh, right.
Even though they've adopted him, so he's technically, do you know what I mean, his mum, he still thinks, yeah, okay, she's my mum, but she's actually my sister. When in reality, she's actually his mum.
Yeah, no, that's some fucking...
Talk about a mindfuck.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there.
Now, obviously, we're not saying this excuses what he's done.
No.
But
God,
you can see why his mind's, do you know what I mean? His mind's just going 10 to the dozen. Yeah, he's conflicted. Yeah. And in 1966, he enrolled in Washington University to learn Chinese. And at the age of 20, he met and fell in love with a woman called Stephanie.
Yeah.
And he was obsessed with this girl. Like, he would follow her around like a lovesick puppy, do anything for her, the works.
Yeah.
But it was not long after they officially got together that she dumped him because apparently he wasn't ambitious enough.
Right, okay.
And that was what sparked long-term resentment towards people and mainly women because he believed he wasn't good enough for anyone or anything.
Yeah.
In 1968, he dropped out of university and returned back to his original home, and this is when he found out the truth about his mum.
Right, okay.
So you got to think from his point of view, again, not making excuses, but you've not been told the truth. You've met this woman, you're obsessed with her. You know, she's the one, God's daughter.
Yeah,
that saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And she just dumps you because you're not ambitious. So you're thinking, oh, well, I suppose I'm not good enough for anything. Why am I here? You know what I mean? I'm never going to become anything. No one's ever going to want me. You go back to your home and then you find out the woman who's been raising you, that you think is your sister, has been your mum the entire time.
Yeah, and the people you thought were your parents were actually your grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would frazzle your mind. Like you say, it's no excuse. And the whole thing, like the girl dumping him, right? I've had my heart broken a few times.
Yeah.
Massively. Like, you've seen it. Like,
yeah.
Right. I've never once thought, I'm going to kill him.
No, exactly.
I just usually have a bit of self-pity and everything. I wouldn't say I go off the rails, but, like, just start, I don't know, just going out more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you do get, well, everyone's different, I guess. Like, if you generally thought they were the one, it might send you a bit doolally, but still, I've never thought
it don't warrant murder.
I've never thought, you know what, I'm just going to start killing women because this girl's broke my heart. You
know
what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's a bit strange.
But obviously, so he returned to his home, found out that his sister was his mum.
Yeah.
And this sparks more resentment because the two most important women in his life, i.e. his mum and his ex-girlfriend,
right,
theoretically didn't want him.
Right, yeah.
Because, well, in his mind, he didn't want him,
Yeah.
He's loved with this woman, she's fucked off. And then he's like, you had me raised as your brother. And you're my fucking mum. Why didn't... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. Yeah, did you want the responsibility
Yeah,
of
so
actually
he's now even thinking, well, no women want me. It's like, why? What have I done? And this is where he started to believe that women just cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
Well, in 1962, when Ted was 22, he enrolled back to the Washington University as a psychology major. And this is where he met a single mother called Elizabeth. And this is where the film starts. Well, in 1971, he got a job at the Seattle Suicide Hotline Center, which is a bit mad. He's preventing people from suicide, but then he's a murderer.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, what the fuck? And this is because and the only reason he did this was...
Don't kill yourself, I'll kill you for you.
Yeah. Well, the only reason he did this is because he wanted to be seen as a helpful human and easy to get along with. It's like... almost sort of like women embrace him instead of pushing them away, sort of thing.
Yeah. He just wants that. He wants love, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's in love with the idea of love.
And obviously, during this time, he's still with that Elizabeth. But he was actually having an affair with the original girlfriend, Stephanie.
Oh, right.
And they was going to get married. He proposed to her, the works. And then he dumped her out of the blue as a sort of revenge thing for her doing it to him.
Yeah. Trying to take the moral high ground kind of thing.
This is where his mind starts to twist, because this is when he starts to feel like he needs to show womankind who was boss.
Yeah.
And on January 4th, 1974, he broke into a basement apartment of an 18-year-old dancer and uni student. Ted then proceeded to beat her on the head with a metal pipe, raped her with the metal pipe, which actually ruptured her internal organs, and then he just left her there for dead.
Fucking hell.
He then takes the body to a place called Taylor Mountain, and her body was discovered a year later. But this is when he quit law school just after 6 months, returned to Washington, and started his killing spree.
Right.
His common method was to pretend to be injured, wearing a sling to entice women over to help him. He would then bludgeon them, take them to a remote area, and strangle them to death. That was his, like, modus operandi sort of thing.
Yeah. That was like his calling card kind of thing, yeah.
And during this time, this is where panic started between young girls in the surrounding area, because obviously they were just disappearing.
Yeah.
And then bodies would be found like later on. So obviously parents were like, you'd be home at this point. Do you know what I mean? Women like don't travel on your own.
Yeah.
Just stay safe.
Safety
sort of
numbers.
Thing.
Yeah.
Now, during this time, he was actually getting bored of the way he was doing things and decided to change it up and begin attacking in broad daylight.
Fucking hell.
And there was actually a few eyewitnesses to these attacks, and the common theme was it involved a man called Ted, who drives a Volkswagen Beetle, and it was actually Ted's girlfriend Elizabeth, as in the same with the film, who tipped off the police that it might be Ted committing these murders, because obviously they had the drawing of what they think he looked like.
Yeah.
They knew his name was Ted, and they knew he drove a Beetle, so all the signs were pointing towards him.
Yeah.
So this Elizabeth's thinking,
fucking hell.
But during the whole time, she still stood by his side.
Yeah.
And she regretted like she did in the film. She regretted tipping off the police. She never told Ted it was her until later on. And all that. Like, she was so conflicted, it was unreal. And Ted knew this. He didn't know about Elizabeth, but he knew...
So he's been tipped.
Yeah. And this prompted him to sell his Beetle. However, the FBI found it and found inside the car the strands of two of his victims' hair, as well as one of the victims' hair who managed to escape and survive the attack.
Right.
And on October 2nd, 1975, the FBI found Bundy in Utah and placed him in a police lineup of people matching the description, where this survivor picked out him as her attacker.
Fucking hell.
However, they didn't have enough evidence to convict him of the murders of the other two women, and so he only stood trial for kidnap and assault.
Right.
And on June 30th, 1976, he was sentenced to between 1 to 15 years, depending on behaviour. However, when the FBI, during this time, the FBI were trying to gather evidence to charge him with the murders of a 23-year-old woman in Snowmass. And this is where Bundy first decided to represent himself in court. And when he did this, he was legally able to gain access to the court's defence library.
That's right.
And so, like in the film, whilst he was there, he decided to climb out a window and make a run for it.
2 stories, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2-story window.
Yeah, done his leg in, but he managed to make a run for it. And he was caught 6 days later.
Right.
However, a year later... obviously after being returned to his cell and everything, he noticed there was a hole in the ceiling of his cell room, and he managed to climb through it and came out of some apartments that actually belonged to the chief jailer.
Oh, fucking hell.
And he genuinely just climbed through this thing, crawled along, come out of the room that belonged to the chief jailer, and just walked out the prison door. Literally just through the front reception at the front door. No one noticed, because obviously he's like, well, that can't be a prisoner. During this time, he went to Tallahassee, Florida, went to a sorority house and ended up attacking 4 women in just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And at this point...
While they were asleep, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, he couldn't help himself. And he walked 6 blocks away and attacked another woman at the same time that the FBI was investigating the original crime scene of these 4 women.
Fucking
like 2 he'd murdered, 2 they believed were done, like they were going to die. I don't know. I don't think they did though.
I think 1 did.
Yeah, I think 1 did.
Yeah.
But during this time, he's already attacking another person.
Yeah.
That's like he's just. Do you know what I mean?
He's
lost the plot.
He's got that bloodlust.
Yeah, he's gone blood drunk, so to speak. And he was finally recaptured on February 15th, 1978, when he was driving a stolen vehicle suspiciously.
Because originally, wasn't it like they pulled him over for a brake light or something?
Yeah, and then it come up that he stole it, and then they realised who he was. It was like, okay, come on, mate.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
He was taken to jail, and so he couldn't escape again. He was placed in a cell that was lined with armour steel plates and sheets that were welded down to the bed. And the cell door had extra locks on it to make sure he couldn't escape again.
So kind of like a Hannibal Lecter risk.
They had a guard watching his door the whole time.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I think they added extra security cameras. Like, they were making sure this fucker weren't going anywhere.
Right.
And during this time, he would actually tell the prison guard, he would actually like goad the prison guards by telling them that the evidence is there, you just can't find it. He was almost being smug about it, because obviously during the time they're trying to pin the murders on him. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say pin the murders on him, but like prove he did it.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting back smugging like wee wanker sort of thing. It's there, you thickos.
Yeah.
That's when they realised that he left a mark on one of the victims by biting down hard twice on one of the girl's left butt cheek.
That's right.
And to get the bite impression to match with it, to match the bite marks with these victims, they actually had to get a warrant to search his mouth
Right, yeah.
Because they tried multiple times. They tried with like different fruits and that would leave the best bite impressions. And it was one of the other prisoners who let off what they were trying to do.
Right.
Because obviously they kept giving Ted pieces of fruit, and one of the other prisoners was like, "How come he's getting fruit? I never get any."
Yeah.
And then the rest were like, "No, neither do I." So Ted switched on like, "You crafty bastards!"
Yeah.
Refused it. Apparently he went divvy, like smashed up his cell the lot. So then they had to get a warrant to search his mouth. They took him in like one of them restraining jackets up to the chief prisoner's dentist. Had to sit him down and then get a bite.
Make a mould.
Yeah, make a mould of his teeth marks. And these bite marks became the most vital piece of evidence during the court trial.
Yeah.
They theoretically had nothing else on him. They knew Ted, the Beetle, and all that, but this was the one thing that was like, shit, they got me.
Yeah.
And on June 25th, 1979, his trial began. And it actually became the first ever trial to be live televised. On July 24th, 1979, he was convicted guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. And he was sentenced to the death penalty twice.
Right.
He spent 10 years on death row and tried every way he possibly could to be exempt from the death penalty.
Yeah, he tried to prove that he was insane, weren't he? He tried to go insanity route.
His mother was called up as a witness as well, saying, like, I think the death penalty should be banned and all that. Like, he was adamant he weren't going to die this way.
Yeah, he kept trying to appeal and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah. The cost of his trial and appeals ended up costing $9 million.
Fucking hell, with taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And during his appeal trial and the sentencing of the rape and murder of a 12-year-old girl, Bundy once again represented himself, and he used this opportunity to propose to a woman named Carol, which is in the film as well.
Yeah, with the glasses.
Yeah.
And
she ended up a few months after giving birth to a kid who she claimed was Ted's, but I don't think it was ever proven.
No.
Because I think by that point, by the time she had given birth and that, he was dead.
Right, okay.
Well, he was executed, so they couldn't really do a DNA test.
No.
Now, during his 10 years on death row, Bundy confessed to 30 documented murders. However, the reason it took so long was because he drip-fed this information to the police in order to buy himself as much time as possible.
Yeah. So he says, I'll tell you, but in my time, my own time. Right.
And 7:16 a.m. on January 24th, 1989, Ted Bundy was finally executed by electric chair. On his way to the execution, he was still shouting names of the victims.
What a cunt.
He was a vile piece of shit.
Yeah, like he's proud.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He seems like he was proud of what he done.
Yeah. I mean, during the when he was getting taken to be executed, there was like a mass gathering outside the prison, weren't there? With like signs saying like "Burn Bundy, burn." They had
fire up Old Sparky.
Yeah, they had a Wicker Man. With his face on it.
That's right.
Set it alight, the lot. Like he was hated by that point.
Oh yeah, generally despised. Rightly so.
Too right.
No, but what I find it's just such a mystery, like how, like you can't like see what could have drove him to that. Yeah. But it's having that bottle to put in your plan to action.
Yeah.
For him to just fuck it.
Well, I saw this documentary with him, and they were saying the thing you find most common with serial killers is it tends to go one way. The ones like your Jack the Rippers or people like that that are so hard to identify is because they can keep a lid on it, and they can and they won't change the way they do things.
No,
where the most serial killers, and especially nowadays, that get caught, the 3 things that happen are they change their way of doing it. So it's like, okay, they change the time span they do it, and it almost becomes like an addiction.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. That's why the time frames between each murder gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And the more shorter it is and the more urge you have to do it, the more you make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's when they catch you.
And as well, they always say, like most serial killers, they always return to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
So
they want a, like, it was in a film, and they were saying, I can't think what the film was, but it was like, with all serial killers, they can't help the urge to want to get caught.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in their mind,
it's that cat and mouse game.
It's like, in their mind, what's the point of doing all these brilliant things if no one's going to take credit for it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He was vicious, obviously, but he was stupidly intelligent. Not just like book smart, as I'll say, but the way he did things.
Yeah,
he was so intelligent. It was
unreal. God, yeah. Like really, if he didn't, let's say, he made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
I know it's easy said than done. Like that's like with all of them. But if he just like really carefully planned it out, he could still be alive today. That's a scary thing.
Yeah.
So
God knows. I mean, like I said, he admitted to 30. They reckon it was about 100. If he, fuck knows how much.
How actually what
bad
the
it would
final number is, and that is what is so fucked. It's so fucked. But going like on the court trial, because the judge actually liked Ted Bundy. He respected him, which how can you in a way like. How can you respect a man who's done these heinous crimes? But I think it was just because of how well he
presented himself. Represented himself in the trial.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he saying? It was like, take care of yourself.
Yeah. If it happened, like no, like what was it? If you'd done things right, you could have been one hell of a lawyer.
The lawyer, he's like, I'd love to have seen you practice in front of me. Yeah. And he's saying, like, take care of yourself, partner, and all that sort of thing. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, look out of yourself, God. You've sentenced him to death, which, rightly so, but then saying, like, pretty much well done for doing it.
You're like, what the actual fuck? I think, didn't he come out and say, I really hesitated in sentencing him for that?
Yeah. Because of how
well he did and everything. It's like
he's like he had, like you say, he's like a fucking what you call him? Like he had such a charm. Like you could fall for his spell.
People over.
Yeah, you fell for his spell kind of thing, and it seemed to have happened to everyone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like if you can manage to get the head judge of a court trial, your own murder court trial, to respect you, you've got like it's almost like a power, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like he can talk his way out of a paper bag, sort of thing.
Yeah, he can talk out of a room with no doors.
It is incredible.
Like you say, because when it once as well, it was like you were saying about the broad daylight. It was like near a beach or somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where he kidnapped one of them.
Yeah.
But is the bit in the film where she's last talking to him and he breathes on it, writes hacksaw?
Yeah.
Is that fabricated?
I'm not too sure. I think there was something. I don't know if it was exactly like that, but I know he definitely did write hacksaw or something like that.
Did he?
Because he obviously, he decapitated that one woman, didn't he?
Yeah. He decapitated a few of them, I think, by the end of it. Because when I think it was like after he killed them, like he buried them, like in the woods, different parts of them, and as well, like you could think about. I see it like in the film Snatch, when Bricktop's saying about the best way to move a body is to cut it up into 6 pieces and bunch it all together because it's easy to handle. Yeah, which it makes sense.
Of course it does.
Because a person with a dead weight, me and you would struggle. And we're quite strong lads.
Yeah, it'd be a nightmare to lift.
Yeah, we're quite strong, and that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah,
but if you could cut someone up and move individually, you save your back.
Yeah,
which
it's horrible to think about, but it's like what's the word? Like I'm looking for. Nah, it's gone.
Mate, this weekend's fucked us up.
Yeah, it really has. It really has.
But no, it's it's gone in my head now. I wouldn't say plausible, but it's just easier.
Yeah.
It's just easier. It's yeah, no, I can't think. If you can think of the word, please let us know.
Yeah, please let us know.
Yeah, because we're fucked.
We're really struggling today.
Yeah. But like I say, like watching the films and everything, and that Netflix show, The Conversation Tapes.
Yeah.
He never spoke about these murders like he done it. He always done it in the third person.
Yeah. It was almost like he was trying to portray, like, like you said when he was trying to declare himself like as insane. He was almost like trying to play it off like a schizophrenic.
Yeah,
it weren't me, it was the other side of me.
Yeah, like an alter ego.
Yeah, I had no control over him.
Yeah.
And then even like during them interviews and that, he's still being that smug, charismatic, chip on your shoulder. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm the dog's bollocks kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You sick.
He tried to blame it on everything.
Yeah.
Everything but himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he even blamed pornography.
Yeah.
Like hardcore pornography. And I mean, it's just people shagging.
Yeah.
Like, what is
like,
that?
What's that got to do with killing?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, if it's like hardcore, like, like BDSM and all that shit, I still don't think people would be like, I fancy killing someone.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm having a Tommy over that. You know what I mean? It's a bit...
He was one fucking weird, like, he is such an enigma.
Yeah. Well, so I think serial killers are in a hole.
Yeah. But this guy's on another level.
Yeah.
Like,
he was hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. And it's terrifying to think, what the hell else? Because so many, like, I don't know how to word this, like, so many people will, as well, serial killers, it wouldn't shock me if so many are, like, trying to base themselves on him.
The copycat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because of how well he done it and how well he tried to get out of it. I mean, to take 10 years, you've been sentenced for the death penalty to take 10 years.
But to be fair, the death penalty, some people have been on death row for donkey's years.
Yeah, true.
Absolute donkey's years to then for it to be their time. I don't know why it takes that long.
No, I don't.
If someone could explain why, I'd appreciate it, because I'd have thought once you got sentenced, you'd have a week.
Yeah, or something like that.
You know what I mean? Have a week, 2 weeks, know what's happening, get your last meal, and fucking die. Job done.
And the one thing as well, like, do you think the death penalty should come back?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
100%.
Only obviously for certain things, like murder, rape, paedophilia, all that sort of thing. Yeah, 100% it should come back.
Yeah, massively. Because as well, because the more prisoners, there's more tax. It's taking out taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
So we're like what we've happened with like serial killers in the UK, like Dennis Nielsen and people like that. Like, they've been in prison all their lives, and we're paying for them to
live, basically.
Yeah, we're paying them for committing them crimes.
Yeah, and especially nowadays with the way, like, crime rates and that have gone up.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more crimes happening, the more people get arrested. The more people get arrested, the more people need to go into prison. More people that need to go into prison, the bigger the prisons need to be. The more food they need, the more resources they need. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, like you said, with taxpayers' money, it's just coining it and coining it and coining it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's not going to stop.
No.
That's why they need almost... You can almost look at the death penalty as like a culling.
Yeah.
It's like, they need the fucking root.
Yeah,
like,
and as well, it's a bit of a threat to them. Like, if you kill someone, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, it's like, why should you have the right to take someone's life and then not have the government or the law or whatever take your life
to reciprocate it? Yeah.
It's like,
just get give and take. But as well, in some ways, I can see it because they're in that 4 walls, that 6 foot by 6 foot cell for the rest of their lives. They've lost all freedom.
Yeah. But at the same time as well, with serial killers, it becomes a case of they don't care.
No.
They don't give a flying fuck.
And especially, like, with a lot of prisons nowadays, it's like a fucking day camp.
Yeah.
Like, they get everything pretty much handed to them. So in that sense, like
it's like, I know where people come from and they say, yeah, okay, mate, it needs to be like that because otherwise it's a violation of the human rights.
But they didn't think of that when they were...
Yeah, exactly. They didn't think of that when they were fucking...
butchering people. Literally butchering people. Like, they weren't thinking of that.
No. Innocent people that had done nothing wrong.
Yeah, they were just getting their hide. They were
just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like, how can you justify that in any way? So I get it from a parent's standpoint, like with the mother saying, oh, you know, the death penalty is so cruel and all that.
Yeah.
Because it's her son. Regardless of what he's done, it's still her son.
Yeah.
But for other people, like, that ain't related to him or anything like that, to be like, oh, he don't deserve that. It's like, he's the one person that definitely deserves that exactly. Out of everyone.
And like, with other serial killers we will talk about, like, they just definitely deserve that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, like I say, they have destroyed families. They took innocent lives away. They've destroyed families. I don't know. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Like, and for them to still be breathing, having their, walking about, eating, drinking, you know what I mean? Like,
and as well, like I was saying earlier with serial killers, like the help of wanting to get caught, taking credit in that, it gives them that place in history books.
Well, yeah, of course it does.
All of this happened before our lifetime, but we know who he is.
Yeah. We know what he looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're glorified. It
should really become a case where, I mean, it wouldn't be good for us doing a podcast, but it realistically should be a case of, right, done, forgotten about.
Yeah. Thing is, like, we know all different serial killers.
Yeah.
You don't know a lot of the victims.
No. That's,
you know what I mean?
Which is horrible.
I think the only one I could think of is, well, not with Ted Bundy, say, but like Lee Rigby's killer. I don't actually know his name because it's quite a fucking long one, isn't it?
Michael
Adebayo or
something like that. Adebayo.
But we never know him as that. We always know him as Lee Rigby's killer. Which is a better way because you're glorifying Lee Rigby. You're not glorifying Lee Rigby's killer.
Yeah. That was fucked.
They broadcasted it.
Yeah.
That is everyone knew where they were when that happened.
Yeah. Army. For those of you who don't know, if you like live in a different country, so basically Lee Rigby was a UK Army Marine soldier. Marine, I think he was a Marine, who was stationed at barracks, which is the same barrack that one of our friends was stationed at.
Who?
Aidan.
Really?
Aidan was stationed there.
Was he really?
Not at the same time, obviously. Right. But
because that was before he went, weren't
he? He was stationed there. I can't think of what it was called. What was it called? I can't remember off the top of my head, sorry. But and all he was doing, he'd left the barracks to go to the shop. That is it. And these two men,
extremists,
ran him over in their car. Got out the car and killed him.
Yeah, they cut his head off, didn't they?
Yeah, cut his head off. Stabbed him multiple times.
Yeah. And then put on live.
Yeah, there was like public, because it was on a public road.
Yeah, broad daylight.
Yeah. So they people do nowadays, recorded it. And one of them come up to the camera and some of the public trying to justify what he done. And he was saying, we apologise that women and children have to see this, but this happens every day in our countries. And bearing in mind, they were both British.
Yeah.
They were Muslim, but they were both British. And he's going, women and children have to see this on a daily basis and all that sort of thing, trying to justify it. And that's where I think racial hatred towards Muslims come from. That's where it originated.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had 9/11 in that.
Yeah.
But that was the tipping point.
I think especially for British.
Yeah,
for British people.
For Britain, that is where it just...
that's where it started from, really.
Yeah, skyrocketed.
And then he had like the tragic event with Ariana Grande's concert.
It's just they were adding more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Which theoretically, I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah, of course it was, because it's bringing a light to them.
Yeah.
isn't it? It's putting them in the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I just can't see how people could go to bed at night knowing they've took breath away from an innocent person.
Yeah, and especially nowadays when you bring in religion.
Yeah,
it's like people can say what they want about any religion, but they're all peaceful. Okay, yeah, they do things differently. Like Christianity is completely different from Islam. Islam's completely different from Hindu.
Yeah,
Hindu's completely different from Sikhism.
Yeah.
But they're all peaceful in their own way.
Yeah.
To use that as a scapegoat
to
murder is disgusting.
Oh, God,
absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah, because you're just tarring everyone with the same brush.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people, especially more elderly people, if they see someone who they think is Muslim and that, they're terrified, and they and
it's so unfair.
It is so unfair because there could be. I've worked with Muslim people. I've hung about with people from different religions and everything, and they're the nicest people you could ever meet.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just they're getting all tarnished with the same brush, and I think it's so unfair.
Yeah.
Especially, I know we're sort of going on a bit of a tangent here, but we're still on the case of serial killers and that. But I think it's so sad that Muslims especially are getting tarnished with it so bad.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
yeah.
Regardless of what people believe of it, regardless of whether you think it's a good religion or a bad religion, that doesn't mean shit.
If it's what they believe in.
Yeah. Okay, there might be certain points in any religion that you don't agree with.
No.
But that still doesn't mean that they deserve to be abused and, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, singled out.
Yeah, for something that these people have done.
Yeah.
You don't ever see that with things like Christianity.
No, well, you had that shooting in, was it New Zealand?
Yeah, where he went into the mosque.
Yeah, they were innocent people. They were, they were innocent Muslim people just praying.
And they were killed.
Yeah, butchered.
And you don't see
for what?
People... Yeah.
What? You know what I mean? For what? What have they got out of that? Like, we've got rid of a few. There's a few less.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be 3 more that's going to come out of the woodwork. You're just
pissing them off.
You're making a rod from your own back.
Yeah, and it's like with Lee Rigby and that, you can see why there's an uprising.
Yeah,
and it's going to end up in almost like a racial civil war the way it's going.
Oh, 100%.
Because it is going to, the more people of either side or any religion, the more people that do it, the more it's going to piss the other religious group off.
Yeah.
And the more you piss them, you can only back someone into a corner and piss them off so much before they snap.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just human instinct.
Yeah. It's just animal instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've got a dog and you back it into a corner, it's only going to take so much for that bites.
Before it fucking snaps.
Yeah.
Even if you think you've got the sanest, comfortable, calmest, do you know what I mean, zen-like dog.
Yeah.
It's going to snap.
It'll bite.
And that is the way it's going.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a full-on war.
Yeah.
And it is so sad.
It is. Just, why can't people just leave each other alone?
I don't get it.
I really don't.
I really don't get it. And it's even getting to the point now where it's becoming not just necessarily about religion, but you've got, it's always been a thing, but race.
Yeah.
And then you've got creed. You've got sexuality. It's just going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
It's like we're so egotistical that we're trying to just pin ourselves into one group.
Yeah.
Where it's just like shirts v skins.
Yeah. But the thing is, one man thought of that, and that was Adolf Hitler. And look what happened there. Is he a loved man? No, he's not. Because it's always going to happen. Do people want to be a next Adolf Hitler?
Yeah.
And it ain't got to be just against Jews. Like what you're saying, it could be different races, different religions, or whatever.
Yeah.
If you got a vendetta, you're just making yourself into Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
And do you want to be classed as Adolf Hitler?
But not only that, you can even look at that even more deeper. You look at, that is exactly like what you said, but look what that caused.
Yeah.
It caused a war of the entire planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that one man can
do
cause
that
a war,
with the
what
world,
the fucking hell is going to happen this time round?
with a group.
It's going to go, it's going to be really, really,
It's
really,
going
really
tits
bad.
up. It's going to go tits up.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think social media has got a massive thing behind it.
Of course it has. Of course it has.
I'm not saying Mark Zuckerberg thought this was going to happen when he thought of Facebook.
No.
You know,
do you know what I mean?
Bring people together.
Bring the world together.
Yeah.
But it's just gone the polar opposite.
Yeah.
It's just dragging people away. I mean, you see it on Facebook all the time where anyone will share a picture or something else, and then there's comment after comment of everyone who thinks out of nowhere they're a fucking politician.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're not, mate. You're just one prick with an opinion.
And as well, the amount of fake news.
It's ridiculous.
And a lot of people, like I say again, like older generations, believe it.
Yeah.
And then it causes them to like go against what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, no, it's fake news.
Just don't listen to it.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've had to say to my mum and that, like, I'm not saying, do you know what I mean, she's a racist or anything like that. Well, she better not be. She's got 2 black children.
Yeah.
But the amount of times she's like, oh my God, have you seen that thing on Facebook of this and this happens? Like, no, mum, that's bollocks. Don't ever believe anything you see on social media.
No.
Wait for it to come out on the news.
On the actual news.
Yeah, that's when you know it's genuine.
Yeah. Or it's got some substance.
Yeah.
Shall we say.
Like, I don't know.
It's fucked. That's what I mean. It's that let's say with social media, let's say even the news and everything, it's glorifying evil people.
Mm-hmm.
As well, it's for people who want to get famous.
Yeah.
Want to get famous. How am I going to get famous and how am I going to do it quick? It's easier to kill someone than to get viral.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
because they've
horrible.
It's that new film off Netflix, isn't there? That Spree. It's got you don't watch Stranger Things, but it's got Steve Harrington from Stranger Things who's done it, and all he wants is to get viral, to get famous.
Mm-hmm.
He had like he was driving an Uber.
Mm.
He started killing people, which brought viewers in.
Oh my God! But the thing
you could see why, because he wanted to get famous so bad. He done everything.
Urge. It's just I want to get famous. I'll do it any way I fucking can.
Yeah. And that's the way. I mean, yeah, we want to get successful out of doing this. I'm not saying, Josh, should we go and kill a load of people and record it and say, well, welcome back, Mission Mysteries. This is what we've just done. Not a chance. No. Not a chance. I'd rather pack the fucker up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd rather we never make it than that. It's just disgusting.
Nah, that's it.
But bringing it back to Ted Bundy, I think that was also the case. It's like, I had a shit upbringing. I had this happen to me. I hate women.
Yeah.
I want people to know how much I hate women and know what I've done to them.
Yeah.
So this is how I'm going to fucking do it.
And it is right, like the whole thing about him representing himself.
Yeah.
As well as like, he did do law school and everything like that. He was front and centre.
Exactly.
He was in the public eye.
And but as well, beforehand, like with the whole, the evidence is there, you just can't find it. He's got that one up on them. Yeah. It's like, I know how you can find it.
Yeah.
Because I fucking done it.
Yeah.
You cunts can't find it. Have fun. Yeah. And then even when they did find it, like you said, to represent yourself in court. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, this is because of this and this is because of that. It's like, but you're the same person that's just told the FBI.
Yeah.
And you bit one of your victims.
Yeah, because he always done that, like when he weren't recorded, where you know what I mean, like behind closed doors, shall we say? Because when he was getting interviewed and everything like that, he denied it every time.
And even during his court trial, like I said, it was live televised, and he's looking at the camera and he's smirking and winking, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've got him.
Yeah, I've got away with this.
Yeah,
I'm getting away with this.
It's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Even when he was sentenced, and then he starts
his face changed.
Yeah, the whole emotional, heartfelt shit. Like, I will not, what has he said? I will not accept this verdict for something I never done and all that. It's like, this whole time, you have been pointing your own evidence against you.
Yeah.
You've been pointing to the fact that you blatantly fucking did this.
Yeah.
And now that you've finally been sentenced and now you're finally getting reprimanded for what you've done, now you want to play the sob story. It's like, are you thick? And he was so intelligent, but at the same time, he was thick as pig shit.
Yeah, that is it. But they call it the devil's face because like when he got sentenced, his face changed. His whole demeanour.
Where you saw that
evil.
He was evil.
The evil, what was inside of him. Because his whole demeanour, his whole face, pretty much, he morphed into this, like, monster.
It's like, you can almost see in his face, he wanted to lash out and then it there. Kill as many as he could while he had the chance.
God, yeah. And the thing is, could you imagine, right, you as the parent of one of these, like, victims, and you were sitting in that courtroom, and he's being all, like playful, he's being all smug and everything like that. I don't know if I'd been able to...
I wouldn't have.
You'd be able to control yourself.
Yeah. And do you know what would even piss me off even more? It's during that time, so like you said, you was one of the families of the victims, and you got all these fucking young girls.
Yeah.
And they're cheering.
Cheer for him.
Yes, go Ted, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And you're looking at them thinking, do you know what he fucking did to my, like, let's say, I'm going to say, do you know what he fucking did to my daughter?
Yeah.
Do you know, if you got in a room with him, you're thinking you're going to have the best night of your life. Do you know what he'll fucking do to you?
Yeah.
Are you not? And it's like, it pissed me off, even me. It pissed me off when they're doing that, whilst the evidence is being shown, what the fuck he did to some of them. It's like they're the same age as you. Some of them are younger.
Yeah.
Some of them have barely lived. And he's done that to them.
Yeah.
And you're basically celebrating it like your country's just won the World Cup. You're like, what fuck is wrong with you?
I know. But it always reminds me of, I think I told you about it at the weekend. It was this gymnast instructor. He molested these 3 sisters.
Yeah.
And while it was all going on, the dad went up to... He like stood up and said to the judge, he went, before you do anything, can I have 5 minutes alone in a room with this man? And they were like, no, we can't warrant that. He went, 1 minute. That's all I need. Just 1 minute alone in the room with just me and him. And they were like, no, we're not authorising that. So he went, well, I'll do it now then. And he ran at this bloke, and it took 5 of them to pin him down pretty much.
Fucking hell.
I mean, the daughters were absolutely crying. It was a very tense situation, and he screamed, I'm going to get that son of a bitch. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to get that son of a bitch. I'll kill you. And I remember watching it, and at the time I was thinking, fuck, you've just fucked yourself up here, boy. I get why you're doing it, and I agree with you totally, but you fucked yourself up here. But then the judge went, I'm not convicting you. You had every right to feel like that.
Yeah.
You want to protect your daughters at all costs.
Yeah.
But I'm not having that in my courtroom. And he said, no, I apologise. I went, you don't need to apologise. What this man has done is disgusting. But do not act out of line. Yeah, because
9 times out of 10 in them situations, the case gets thrown out, doesn't it? Because you've jeopardised it.
It can do.
That's why when you see, like, we was on about it a few podcasts ago with paedophile hunters and that, most of them have to record it instead of doing live streams because obviously they place them under citizen's arrest. And if anyone comes and even lays a finger on one of them,
it's fucked.
It's done.
It's fucked.
Court case is done.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll get away scot-free.
Yeah, that's why they record it and then upload it after the police have already got them in custody.
Yeah.
So they can't get harmed.
No. But the thing is now, like with that, because it's such a common... Well, I wouldn't say it's a common thing. It's a fairly common thing to do now. Like these groups of people. I wouldn't even call them vigilantes, because vigilantes are very bad, in a way, a bad thing. They're angels.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But... because it's such a common thing, if you see one person in the corner with like 4 or 5 people around him, you've got a fair idea what's going to happen.
What's going on.
So now, at this time, it's a touchy thing. You've got to be so careful of how you act it. Because they a lot of the time they get like train stations, bus stations, where it's very public. And with that, it could really go to south quick.
There was one I watched, and... they had this guy outside of a supermarket.
Yeah.
And there was a lad about 6-7 feet away.
Yeah.
Just sat there having a fag. And they was like, doing the whole, do you mind telling me what you're doing here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This guy was just keeping an eye on what's going on. And then they found out that they surrounded a paedophile. And this guy went mental. He was going, I've just come out of prison. He's like, I don't mind fucking going back if it means getting my hands on you.
Yeah.
And the guy that was running the
sting
was pushing this guy back, almost having to restrain him.
Yeah.
Saying, you are not fucking up my case. It's like, it's like, do you not realise what he's done? It's like, yeah, that's why we're fucking here. So we're gets...
doing it through the right channels.
We're doing it legally.
Yeah.
So you hit him, he's going to get away scot-free.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're going to get charged for assault.
Yeah.
They said, because we can't deny it, it's live on fucking video.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
It basically had to wrestle him to the ground like, you fucking don't you dare.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, because with how the legal system works, you have got to be so fucking careful. And it's not corrupt, but it can be manipulated.
Yeah.
Like how nearly Ted Bundy done it.
Yeah. That's why I think as well with so many crimes nowadays, or even if you're pulled over by the police or anything, your cameras come out. Because the video can't lie. I think it's even becoming law where police have to have cameras on.
Yeah, they have like chest cameras and that.
So that it's both sides. You can see the story.
Yeah, I think because didn't Lewis say he's had them on?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's a more of like the paramedic route. He's not a paramedic. He's an ambulance practitioner.
Yeah.
The man saves lives.
Yeah, exactly.
The man saves lives, and I think they have to have it in case, like, say, for argument's sake, the patient died on the way to hospital. The family, if they were vindictive, could be like, it's their fault. They didn't do their job properly or something like that. They've got it on camera.
They've got on camera.
No, we've done everything we fucking
We've done everything by the book.
Yeah, exactly. So it's mad how it's gone like that.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, you can even look at it, the case with George Floyd's murder. I'm not going to go into depth about it and all that.
No.
What I'm going to say is that the bystanders that were filming it with that policeman on his neck, whether you believe he deserved to die for his crimes, whatever, couldn't give a shit about that. But you telling me if that weren't filmed, they wouldn't have got away with that? They nearly fucking did. Yeah. Even though it was videoed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like, if that weren't uploaded, if the police got hold of that footage, that would have disappeared. They would have got away scot-free. The fact that was uploaded and the backlash they got, it almost swayed the courts almost. It's like, we can't let them get away with this now. Otherwise, we
can't argue it.
Yeah, the justice system is never going to be trusted again.
No, that's right. And it, like I said, it very could have happened with Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Like I say, with the cameras and that, he was very charming. And like you say, with the people loving him and that, it could have very easily gone the other way.
The fucking judge.
Yeah.
The judge loved him.
Yeah.
Well, not loved him, you know what I mean?
I respected him highly.
It's like, how?
Yeah. Look at what has been presented to you.
How charming was this man?
Yeah.
How easy was it? I'd almost wish I could experience it from, not the murders and the victims, but what I'm saying is, I wish I could almost have sat in a room with him and had a conversation just to see how he does it. Because I always wondered, is he doing it intentionally?
What do you mean?
Like, is he...
What, killing intentionally?
No. Like, is he charming and wooing people intentionally, or is that just him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Is that his personality?
Yeah.
That he can't help it? Or is it he knows what he's doing? Like, it's premeditated. It's like, if I can just, you know what I mean, convince you, make you, you know what I mean?
Like a Del Boy-esque kind of thing. Because, like you say, he had that charm, didn't he, with everyone?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I know exactly what you mean.
It's like, I wonder if you're playing it or if that is genuinely you.
Yeah. I think he is premeditated.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, I think...
Simply because of how easy he switched.
Like you say, once he got sentenced, they call it a devil's face because you saw it in his face, how he was like, fuck.
Well, it was after he split up with that Stephanie. And he just went on a mad fucking rampage.
Yeah.
Killing 5 people within half hour. Or like attacking 5 people within half hour. He lost control at that point. He was, okay, here we go. It's go time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fucked. Absolutely fucked. He's a fucking vile man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's dead.
Yeah.
So fucking glad he's dead.
Yeah. But then, I am glad he's dead. But I feel the same as you. I want, just like you say, having a conversation with them kind of people.
Yeah.
Would my emotions take over and I'd like be trying to kill him myself? You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I take my hat off to people like I know he's not exactly fucking the most loved person, but when you see like Piers Morgan, and he does them interviews with serial killers,
and he's so calm.
Even with like Ross Kemp and that, he's interviewed some evil bastards, and he's only really ever lost his temper truly once, and even then he didn't really do anything because he was interviewing this child sex trafficker, and he admitted to killing over 100 girls.
Fucking hell!
Because they were, as he put it, bad stock.
Fucking hell!
And you could see in Ross Kemp's face, he was raging. It. And this guy, bearing in mind, he's got he agreed to the interview, and he's got 2 gunmen with him because he's part of a
syndicate kind of thing. Yeah.
And Ross Kemp even went, and he had this translator next to him. She's crying her fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
And he has just got like starting to rock. He's starting to lose it.
Yeah.
And then the guy that done the attackings and killings and that started crying and feeling sorry for himself. And at that point, Ross just went, "Yeah, interview's done because I'll fucking kill him." He's saying that while he's got 2 gunmen behind him.
Oh no!
And he was like, "I just couldn't hold it in." He said, "I really had to end that interview there, otherwise I was going to lunge at him."
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you know what? Fair fucking play."
No. Yeah. No. Fucking. That's the thing, because it was if he, I think if Matey didn't have them 2 gunmen,
I
think Ross Kemp would have got his hands on him.
Well, he was saying afterwards, he said it wasn't even. He said, "Yeah, okay, it was disgusting," but he said it wasn't even the case of what he'd done. It was the fact when he sat there and started feeling sorry for himself.
Yeah.
After what he's done, and he's tortured, mutilated, and murdered innocent young women because he didn't think them good enough quality to be sold as a sex slave. Oh. It's like, how the fuck can you live with yourself doing that?
That's what I mean. How can they go to bed at night?
It is disgusting.
I think I've had a good day here. You know what I mean? Like,
it is fucking disgusting.
No, what the fuck is wrong with this world?
When did morals go out of the window?
Yeah.
But it's not even, I wouldn't even call it morals. It's just a decent
humanity.
Being. Yeah. When did humanity become such a taboo word? Really? When did this sort of fucked up shit happen?
No, that is it. It's always happened, I think, isn't it? But
the thing is, when you look at it, whether it's rapists, murderers, paedophiles, traffickers, torturers, mutilators, whatever, someone had to have been the first.
Yeah.
Someone had to have done it first. When the fuck did it become a common thing?
Yeah.
If it was 2 or 3, I'm not making excuses for him, but you could almost not justify it, but like
sympathise in a way.
Nah, not even that. Like, it wouldn't be so dark-esque because then you could work out what caused them to do it.
Yeah.
How did something drove you to do that? Like I said, you don't just wake up one day and feel like doing this. Something led you to that.
A lot of the time it's money.
Yeah. But then the fact of it's become so common nowadays.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're worshipped. They're like gods.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want to do that now. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, I want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
When did that become a reality?
That's what I mean. Like we were saying, like there could be people who try to copycat what Ted Bundy's done, what Jeffrey Dahmer's done, what John Wayne Gacy's done.
What any serial killer's done.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the UK with Jack the Ripper, and you got the Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah.
Carbon copy.
Yeah, pretty much. It is fucking... It is foul.
It's disgusting.
Like, we must be quite fairly sane also, because how can you... I just can't...
Something... Like, I'll say this as a joke sometimes, but something in their brain genuinely doesn't work.
No.
I mean, they say, what is it? The frontal lobe is the seat of good manners, isn't it? That's where you're you.
Yeah.
Where your personality comes from. Something there is damaged.
Yeah.
Something there is not functioning correctly for you to do this. I mean, there was that Netflix documentary not that long ago about the American footballer. What was his name? Like Theo Hernandez or something? It was something Fernandez or Hernandez, something like that.
Right.
And he suffered serious brain damage from playing American football. And that drove him to kill.
Did it?
Yeah, it damaged his frontal lobe that bad. His personality just switched completely different. And I think he murdered his mother. He murdered some of his family, and then tried to go on a killing spree.
Right.
And then that's when they realised. You look at as well with what was the wrestler's name?
What, Guerrero?
No, his mate Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah.
He was another example of it. He was so distraught because Eddie Guerrero was his best mate. If you ever watched wrestling when you was younger, or if you still watch it or whatever, you'll know who I'm on about. But for those who don't, Eddie Guerrero was one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
Yeah,
and so was Chris Benoit, supposedly. But Eddie Guerrero was Chris Benoit's best mate. Almost like me and you.
Yeah.
And Eddie Guerrero died of a heart attack when he was 45. And he was the only one that kept Chris Benoit in check, basically. Because he weren't aggressive, he didn't lash out. But he very well easily could have spiraled out of control. He was one of them that was so vulnerable, he would have fallen in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And Eddie always kept him on the straight and narrow. And Eddie wasn't always squeaky clean, was he?
No.
But Chris Benoit suffered that many concussions and that many brain injuries that when they done a CTE scan on him post-mortem, they found out he had the brain age equivalent to being an 80-year-old man.
Oh, right.
And he...
So it knocked him forward.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time where you see people, they reverse. They go to a child, like a mindset of a child.
Yeah. But this guy's brain was so badly damaged. And I'm not saying this is why he did it. No. But this is what potentially could have caused it.
Yeah.
He actually killed his son, his wife, and then killed himself.
Yeah.
And he made it look like in such a case where it looked like somebody broke into his house and killed all three of them. It was only when the forensics and all that started coming in that they found out, no, he was responsible. And I think even to this day, his name is not allowed to be mentioned in the WWE.
No.
Like, it's where you see wrestlers die, like Eddie Guerrero, Umaga, whoever else. They're honoured, they're respected.
Yeah.
Because how good they were. This guy is almost like his name was just wiped off the face of the earth. No. He was not ever... Well, I think every, video package they had of him, gone.
Yeah.
Every match of his recorded, disappeared. Anything to do with him, wiped.
Good.
Could not mention his name in the slightest.
No, which is good.
Yeah, of course it's
how
good.
It should be. But didn't they do a documentary on him?
I think they did, but I think that was during the... I don't think the WWE did it. Someone's done a documentary on him.
Yeah, but they had WWE members.
Yeah. But I think the WWE did... when they die, they used to do them, memorial packages. They had one of them planned for him, because obviously at the time they thought he was murdered. And then when they found out that
he done it himself,
it was like, nope, get rid of it.
Yeah. Fucking, that's the way it should
be. Right.
Way it should be.
But it's that just goes to show with them two cases, how brain injuries and things like that. Like I said, with the frontal lobe thing, it's meant to be...
that what makes you tick, Cod.
Yeah.
It makes you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, was it a case of that with Ted Bundy? But then again, he never suffered brain damage or anything.
No.
But something, it could have been there from the get-go.
Yeah, he was just born evil.
Yeah, exactly.
And as well, like say, he had child trauma, in a sense. And that could fucking
fizzle. That could have just frazzled it.
Yeah, fizzle, can't it? That could have made something snap inside of him.
Like we were saying earlier, to have been brought up thinking your parents... your
grandparents...
Your mother is your sister.
Yeah.
And that your parents are actually your grandparents. To find that out after being dumped by the love of your life and everything, and your world's come crashing down, and you think you can't get any lower, you come back to that, it's going to fuck your mind up.
Yeah, get kicked while you're down.
Not an excuse to kill, but did that trigger it? Was it already damaged?
More than likely.
With cases like PTSD and that, you see it all the time. It always comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in depth personally, but obviously I suffer from mental health.
Yeah.
And when I went to a therapist to talk about it, they got to the root of it, of what it was that caused this. And they said, you was autistic from the get-go, but it didn't spring out until this happened.
Yeah.
And so, was it a case of that?
Possibly.
His mind was already fucked, for lack of a better word, and this just tipped him over the edge.
Yeah, very well could be.
Which I think is the case with so many serial killers.
Yeah.
Something just snaps in their mind, and they think, right.
Yeah.
Because it was... And that's why I think they always target certain people as well. Like with Ted Bundy, it was young women. Because obviously, if he's raising... His mum's being raised as his sister, they've got to be roughly not... There can't be that much of a gap between them.
Either that, or it was like who he thought were his parents just had him late. It's one of them, isn't it? Thing is, when you are a child, though, like you ain't
gonna know any different,
understand that, do you? But because like you follow with a lot of serial killers, they say this is how you can find if your child's gonna be a serial killer. Like, they kill animals
and that. He didn't.
No, he didn't. That's what makes his case so interesting. Because like with like Jeffrey Dahmer and that, he killed animals.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and what was it? And being very socially awkward.
Yeah, this guy just wanted to be loved.
Yeah,
and then when he found out it was women who have fucked his mind up in his mind,
he had a vendetta.
He had a vendetta against them. It's like, how many women would he have killed?
Yeah, if he was left to his own devices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is right.
And the fact that he was the one who theoretically caught himself, for lack of a better word, by leaving the bite mark and shit like that, and then telling the police it's there. Yeah. He might as well have just gone, I did that.
Yeah.
It
was only out of court cases where he did.
Yeah.
But even while he was on death row, they interviewed him, and he still denied it.
Yeah.
But then he spoke, like I said, he spoke in the third person, where then they were like, that's a bit odd.
Yeah, because didn't they ask him if it was him, how he'd do it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, yeah, well, if that was me, I would have done it that way and done it this way.
It's like, it all matched up.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
It's weird like that.
Yeah, they did manipulate him to confess.
Yeah. But going on that, like, a little bit of a tangent, that almost makes it why, if you've seen Netflix Tiger King, how they haven't investigated Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
Because obviously so many people believe she was the one who murdered her husband. But then when she was doing like the news reports and that, and she was joking and smiling, and she was saying things like, look at the size of me. I couldn't lift him up and put him in a blender. It's like, why would you say that? And what is it else she said? She was like, I wish he would turn up so I could prove to people, see, I didn't do it. It's like, would you rather him turn up because he's alive?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's shit like that. It's like, they catch themselves out so easily. You've got to be so careful with what you say.
Yeah.
It goes with, I'm going to do a podcast on him, but the UK killer, Ian Huntley, and his missus, Maxine Carr, the way she was caught out was because she was on the news. Well, they were both interviewed on the news because they worked at the school that they killed the two girls from. And every time he spoke about him, his ears
went red.
Went like bright red. And she was interviewed, and she had this like paper card that one of the girls made for her. And it was like, oh, to our favourite teacher, blah, 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 blah. And she was saying, oh, this was the kind of girl she was. You know, she was amazing. She was this, she was that. And it was after the interview that the news report the cameraman actually went, just rewind that back. It's like, why? It said, because she kept saying was.
Yeah,
not is. Because at the time, they were only missing.
That's right.
And it was like, why the fuck is she saying was?
Yeah.
And that's how they caught him out.
Yeah.
Obviously, went more in depth. They had to get evidence and everything, but that's how they knew they were the prime suspects.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so easy to catch themselves at, like from a serial killer's perspective.
Yeah.
How you have got to be so careful on what you say.
Yeah, that is.
But again...
But we're not saying, if you're a serial killer, be careful what you say.
No.
Just don't do it.
No, simple as that. Be a good fucking human.
Yeah. Like, if you see a person you don't like, just walk the other way, mate. Don't think, exactly. You know what, I'm going to fucking chef you up. And,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Leave people alone. Some cases of killing and murders, not justifiable, but you can see why.
You can understand.
With Cain Velasquez,
yeah,
former UFC heavyweight champion of the world. his daughter was sexually assaulted by some bloke. This bloke was then in Cain Velasquez's face, goading him what he done. So Cain Velasquez snapped and shot him.
Yeah.
He was obviously arrested and charged with a murder in that. But you can see why he did it.
Yeah.
He sexually assaulted your daughter, and then he's basically rubbing it in your face. You telling me, any parent out there, you telling me you wouldn't fucking slash out?
That's like the bloke who I was on about who went after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Gymnast instructor.
Certain cases you can make the case for, like, the example for them, why they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still not justifiable, but
it's not. It's not, but it is.
I get exactly what you mean. I get exactly what you mean. It's like you can get... Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Because if anyone hurt my niece, I'd happily go to prison for killing them.
Yeah.
If anyone or hurt my family, my boys,
You see in prisons nowadays, they have to put paedophiles and like rapists and that away from the main prison because they despise it. I mean, naturally they despise it. Because, like, when I say prisoners, I'm not necessarily talking about murderers, but I'm talking about, robbers, Grand Theft Autos, GBH, that sort of thing. Yeah. They despise that sort of shit, naturally. So, like, paedophiles and rapists and that have to be put away from them because they know what will happen.
Because that's where the word nonce come from.
Yeah.
It was from Wakefield Prison.
Yeah.
And it means not on normal... hang on. Nonce, what in like the more modern terms, it means not on normal courtyard exercise.
Yeah.
Which means, because they are a paedophile, a rapist, what have you, they can't be mixed with the other prisoners, the other inmates.
Yeah.
So
because they will destroy them.
Yeah. Well, it's happening with Ian Huntley.
Yeah.
The amount of times he has been beaten nearly to death.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah, I'll get fucking too right.
But he's been beaten so bad that they've had to start doing that.
Was that that little boy who was killed not long ago by the parents or the stepmother fed him salt and that. Yeah, and she was then force fed salts, weren't she?
Yeah,
I think she was force fed like 51 packets of it.
Yeah,
it was like for what he. Do you know what I mean? It's they despise it.
Yeah, rightly so.
Rightly so.
Yeah, because they say...
Okay, they can't exactly take the moral high ground because they're in prison.
No.
But there's two different sides to it.
The thing is, even like with women prisons, like, some of the reasons why they're in there, it could be like they've probably killed an abusive partner.
Yeah.
Or something like that. They are in there for... I wouldn't say... It's not a justifiable reason, but they're there for a half-decent reason, shall we say.
Yeah. It's like... we understand why. But you still have to be charged because it's still murder.
Yeah.
You still have took a life.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he did.
Yeah,
you deserved it. Yeah, absolutely.
But you could have gone a better way, a legal way.
Yeah, exactly.
So people like that, they are, like, shall we say, more sane people, more normalised people.
Yeah.
They were pushed to an extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that, then with them kind of people who are just naturally
disgusting.
Yeah, ill.
Yeah.
Ill, shall we say. Because we had a rampage on the Royal Family one.
Yeah.
But, these are, I think, are just sick people.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying it whatsoever.
Not, but
they are sick people.
There's something not right.
Missing. There's something missing or something severely fucked.
And I think that's it's so difficult as well, like with the likes of Ted Bundy and that, because he was executed, they can't do an autopsy on his brain to find out if there was something wrong because the brain's been fried from the electric chair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if they could have done another way, they could have probably got
because I don't think a lethal injection was a thing back then, was it?
No, I think it was either electric chair or hanging.
Yeah. No. Yeah, hanging was the original, weren't it?
Yeah.
And then, electric chair and then lethal injection.
Yeah.
Which even that they're trying to ban.
Really?
Yeah. There's only a handful of states in the US that is still legal.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think corporal punishment should be a thing.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Because, like I say, that's what puts people fear to stop them doing it. Because, like you say, now, like with nowadays prisons, like it's like a fucking day camp.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'll kill a few people and I'll just spend the rest of my life in luxury.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't got to pay for anything.
No.
I'm in a warm bed every night. I'll get 3 meals a day.
Happy day. What more do I want?
Exactly.
That's why so many prisoners end up recommitting crimes to go back to prison because they've got everything they need.
Yeah.
Because they can't function in the outside world.
No, that's it. That's why, like with Charles Bronson, why he's always in prison. Because
I've never known someone to do so much time but not really done anything majorly bad.
No.
He weren't a paedophile. We weren't a murderer. He weren't a rapist.
No, because you see the film, didn't you?
Yeah.
When he was in Broadmoor, there was that paedophile there, weren't there? And because while he was like fucking, they comatosed him, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he said like, me, you, a 9-year-old girl, gonna be a great night. And he attempted murder. Yeah. I was like, but even then I was like, go on, Charlie. Go on, Charlie Bronson. Do him in.
Exactly.
Like, because he wanted to be famous, which he is really.
Well, he's the most notorious inmate of all time, isn't he?
Yeah. And as well, like, and now he's like an artist and everything like that.
A really good fucking artist as well. You've seen some of them.
Oh God, yeah.
It's fucking incredible.
Weird.
Oh yeah, weird, but
there's a lot of weird.
incredible.
Yeah. And a bloke I used to work with, his sister, I think, used to be a part of the committee that wanted to release Charlie Bronson.
Oh really?
Yeah, big time. Like he used to ring her up and sing nursery rhymes and stuff like that. Yeah. Small world. And because he's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think, especially now, I don't think he would cope.
No.
People would get hurt if he was released.
I mean, he's pretty much an old man now, though, isn't he? But
I think he'd still give it a fucking good go.
Well,
he wouldn't. He's not suitable for public life.
No.
So I'll put it that way.
Nah,
he's too far gone.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I think he'll end up back. Because it's just funny. He originally went in for stealing. It was only like £8.
Yeah, well, hardly anything. That's what I mean. For someone who's been to basically every single prison in the fucking... There's been a Whitemore, which is only down the road from us.
Yeah. Well, that's category A.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst prisons in the country.
Yeah. Some of the most vile human beings are there and have been there.
Yeah.
The likes of Dennis Nilsen, Ian Huntley, the Essex Boys murders.
Yeah.
I think Lee Rigby's killer was in there for a time.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
It's mainly a terrorist prison now.
Now, yeah. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
That is mad.
Yeah, I've jogged by it and everything.
Yeah, some of the most...
Jogged. This was in my youth. This is before I could drive and get to KFC.
But yeah, some of the most vile people on the planet are down the road from us.
Yeah, I know.
That is fucking mad.
I think in the 90s, or was it before? Maybe before then, inmates got out.
Yeah, there was a mass break. I think that was the 90s. No, was it later?
No, I don't think we were about.
No, I don't think we were about... Oh, yeah.
Well, we were 95.
Yeah, that's what... Yeah, it must have been.
Early 90s, maybe late 80s.
Yeah.
Because I remember my mum worked at a pub in March. And they had to put the pub in lockdown.
Shit.
They pretty much put the whole fucking city. It's a road. The town. They had to put the town in lockdown because of these inmates.
Yeah.
They found them in the ditch, not that.
Yeah, it wasn't that far away at all, was it?
No, but when you escape to somewhere like that, they're on
a prison escapist. You are going to shit yourself.
Well, it's that, and they're going to be on you straight away.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's like security. It's like
it's not impossible to break out of prisons now.
No, that's right. So I mean, only other one would be like Parkhurst or something.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't a category A, is it? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think
because Parkhurst is Isle of Wight.
Yeah, I think it's category B.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a category.
Yeah, because Whitemore used to be a category B, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, now it's been made
up to an A.
Yeah, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we're so close to it. It's a bit mad.
My cousin's boyfriend is one of the security guards there.
Is he?
One of the prison
guards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to be fair. I mean, okay, this guy is built like a brick shit ass. He makes me look small.
Yeah, you got to be.
But you have got to be top.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No one's fucking with me to work there.
You've got to be, yeah.
But the thing is, I imagine that's one of the easiest prisons to work at. Because even though they're killers and that, you look at, I think they're respectable. Because they know they're not getting out. They know everything's hunky-dory, shall we say. That I think they're just getting on with their life.
Yeah.
Where you look at the Cat C prisons, like your Peterboroughs and that are in there for GBH and that, and they think they're the big bad men, you know, your roadmen want to be gangsters. They're, I reckon, more nightmares.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Because that's where your attacks come from. That's where, you know what I mean? I'm the alpha of this prison.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather happily work at a Cat A.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Because a friend of ours, Cam, his dad worked at Whitemore.
Yeah.
And he said his first prisoner was Dennis Nielsen.
Yeah.
And apparently he was like, I think we'll probably be doing the podcast on Dennis Nielsen, but just for a mention, that he was one of the nicest, most genuine people. Well, I would say genuine, but he was one of the most charming, most polite.
Respectable.
Yeah, one of the most nicest, polite people you could ever speak to. And this person done some fucked up
Disgusting shit.
Proper fucked up shit. I mean, we won't go too far into it because we want to keep you, interested for our next season.
I mean, so many people probably know.
Yeah,
well,
British
UK
people.
viewers know who Dennis Nielsen is.
I mean, there was that drama not too long ago.
Which, can I say, David Tennant, perfect.
I still haven't seen it.
Mate, you can't even... When I think of David Tennant, I think
Doctor Who. Doctor Who, yeah.
You can't not. If you was a young British kid around my age, you can't help but think of that.
Yeah.
But, my fucking God, looks to a T, voice, obviously, because David Tennant's Scottish, but to everything about him, it was genuinely like they cast Dennis Nielsen to play Dennis Nielsen.
Yeah.
It was incredible how well he did that.
Yeah.
But then again, you can say the same with Zac Efron and Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Well, they did. I wouldn't say they looked alike, but they...
No, but do you know what I mean?
They
Zac
made
Efron,
it look similar.
I'm not gay, but... I'm not gay. But Zac Efron is a fucking good-looking lad.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
He has that demeanour. Do you know what I mean? If Zac Efron turned out to be like a Ted Bundy killer, you couldn't imagine it because of how good-looking and charming and that guy... Do you know what I mean? That's why he was perfect for that role.
Yeah, because that's how people... portrayed Ted Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is exactly.
That's why he was the
perfect. Actually, yeah.
That's why he was the perfect cast member for it, because it's like, if Zac Efron come out to be a fucking murderer, not Zac Efron.
Nah.
Look at it, he's too good. Look, he's too charming and everything.
He was in Disney.
Yeah. Bollocks. That's
That is that's a perfect way of putting it, mate. To be fair, it's I agree totally.
It's insane. No,
fucking hell. But yeah, it is fascinating, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It really is. You can see why so many people get hooked on like serial killer dramas and all that sort of thing. It is insane.
Oh yeah, I mean, my mum, bless her heart, before she passed and that, well, before she got too ill, like she loved like CSI, CSI Miami, anything to do Law and Order, anything like that. Because she always used to say, if I weren't so ill, I could probably do The Perfect Murder, because she was so hooked on them kind of shows and everything. Yeah, because she loved like crime stuff. Because she actually helped with my cousin. No, I wouldn't say help, but like, would I say inspire? But I remember when he got into university to do criminal psychology. Yeah, he come round to tell my mum about it and everything. And like my mum was buzzed and everything, and like looking at a lot of books about like my mum had, and it was like stuff about Charles Manson. I think there was stuff about Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, all of them. You know what I mean?
That was her thing.
Yeah, it was that and Egypt, like Egyptian mythology. Yeah, those were her two things. She loved anything to do with that. Yeah, and it can't.
Sad really, because she would have been a brilliant guest on the podcast.
Yeah, she would have been. We wouldn't have got a word in edgeways.
No.
No, but so it makes me understand why I like the things I like.
Yeah,
because
it's come from somewhere.
Yeah,
and say that it's the same with my mum. She loves that old crime drama and all that sort of thing, and that's why I think because we've both said if we could both go back to when we were younger, proper studied and gone the whole route, I'd have loved to have been like a crime scene investigator. I'd have loved it.
I'd have liked to have been like a
detective, forensic detective, all that sort of thing, like
a hunter, of some kind.
Yeah. Like I'd love to be like the person that goes to a crime scene, investigates it, traces the steps, and finding the culprit. Like proper top tip. I'd have loved to have done that.
Oh, 100%.
Would have been incredible.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I'd buzz off that.
Yeah. That would have been brilliant. Which is in a way why I'm quite looking forward to when we do like for lack of a better word, expeditions for like when we go to look for Bigfoots and things like that, because that's the closest we're going to get to that.
Yeah, because
you don't need to pass a fucking university degree to go look for a Bigfoot.
No,
do you know what I mean?
No, because if we started like trying to investigate a murder or something, we're going to get fucking bollocks.
Well,
we're going to get a good fucking bollock.
We could potentially go to prison for not necessarily conspiring to pervert the course of justice, but for contaminating the thing.
We could fuck up
the reason they close it off so people can't come in and
that's exactly.
Because all it takes is for one randomer...
a strand of hair.
To walk in, exactly. And a strand of hair to drop, and then bang, it's pinned on you.
Yeah, that is it. That is exactly right.
That's why they're all masked up to the teeth and everything, to make sure that shit can't become a theory.
No, that is... Yeah, that's right. So I think... Yeah. So with like... the more paranormal show, the supernatural, that kind of thing, where it's not human related in a way. I don't know about you, Josh, but would you go to like the scenes of like where previous murders have been?
100%.
You would?
100%.
I mean,
without sounding disrespectful to people that have lost lives or families, victims, just to get a sense of... Do you know what I mean? See if there's anything eerie about it, knowing what happened there.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Because
like
I was in two minds about it, to be honest. Because
even as bad as it was, I'd love to go visit the moors where Ian Brady was. Yeah. Because to stand there knowing that so many bodies were buried here, and that there's still that young lad that Ian Brady killed. That they never found. And he could still be there somewhere. Because you're not going to be able to dig up every single fucking spot of that moors. No. It's not going to happen.
Not a chance.
So, do you know what I mean? It's just something about that sort of thing. I would be intrigued to go to places like that just to get a feel of, fucking hell, this happened. Like, even, like, because I know our mate's uncle, we're eventually going to go to his pub because apparently he's haunted. And he wants to do a podcast with us, so we're eventually going to go to London up there.
He is going to be an unbelievable guest.
100%.
Because that man is...
I would like to do that before this year's out.
Would you?
Yeah. I really want to do that before this year's out.
Okay, yeah, we'll sort that out. Because that man, he is like a cross between Liam Gallagher and Del Boy.
Yeah. proper Cockney geezer.
He is brilliant.
Yeah. And he's such a lovely lad as well.
Lovely man.
But... obviously, because he owns a pub in London.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, while we're there, I'd also like to go to Whitechapel.
Or for Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I'm fucking down.
I'd love... while we're there, why not?
Why not?
Make the most of it. I'd love to do that.
And then go Whitechapel. Dungeons.
Yeah, the lot.
Yeah.
Make a weekend of it.
Put your hand out. Right.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Done. There we go.
You've heard it here.
There you go. Happily do that. The fucking podcast with him, the investigation, because he said we can stay overnight at the pub to see if it's haunted and do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whitechapel, London Dungeons. We'll probably find a few more to do.
Yeah.
More than happy to do that.
100%.
More than happy.
I'm down.
There you go. Before the year's out, we'll try and make that work. I'll tell you what, even when this podcast's done, I'll send him a message.
Yeah.
Seeing when's the best time to come down, and we'll see... obviously after the weddings and everything. We'll plan it out and see what we can do.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking down, mate.
100%.
I am down. That sounds fucking sounds brilliant.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking buzzing for that now.
We've finished recording. We'll do a bit of a plan.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I'm hyped there.
So am I. Fucking hell.
Right.
Well, no, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah.
Sorry there weren't too much about Ted Bundy, but I think with so many of the other serial killers compared to Ted, it's because everything's so known about him. Now. And because
we don't want to bore you with the same details what you have heard.
Exactly.
It's more of our thoughts on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, more than anything.
I think as well, because it's an American serial killer, I think when it comes to the British serial killers, I know more about them.
Yeah.
And I can go more in depth on certain things where, because this didn't happen A, in our lifetime, B, in our country, and C, everything about it's done and dusted. There's not going to be new things coming out about him because he's dead.
Or he's incarcerated.
Yeah. The only things that can potentially come out about him now are some of the other victims that he's potentially murdered.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So, which again, no disrespect, I'm not saying it was boring, but do you know what I mean? There's nothing we can talk in depth about.
No.
So yeah, I do apologise on that, but we can't not talk about serial killers and not mention arguably America's most notorious.
Yeah, that is right. But no, so fucking, he was extremely wicked, shockingly evil, vile. See, I remember that.
Yeah, bang on. But he was a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
But no, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Ed, what we got next, mate?
Next, we are going, worldwide, really. We are talking about the myth and possible cryptid of werewolves / dogmen.
Yeah.
Because actually not too long ago, like last week or 2 weeks ago, there was that picture from Texas outside the zoo of a two-legged creature with a wolf head, pretty much. Some people think it could be a skinwalker, what we spoke about last week, or it could be a dogman / werewolf.
Yeah.
And like I say, throughout history, there's always been stories of the werewolves and stuff like that, and there's been countless fucking films.
Yeah.
Some good, some shit. But so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because I think as a kid as well, like, I always loved werewolves.
I think as well, like, I'm looking forward to it, especially because I've heard of Nessie and Bigfoot. Before the podcast, I didn't know what a Wendigo or a Skinwalker was or anything like that. This one, do you know what I mean? You'd have to be a moron to not know what a werewolf is or a dogman. Do you know what I mean? But did you know in depth about them?
Yeah, but did you ever think it actually could be a real thing?
Not in the sense of full moon howl. Do you know what I mean? But maybe there could be like a...
Before we started the podcast and everything like that, did you ever think there's actually creatures out there what resemble a werewolf?
Yeah. I have to admit, I think I did.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Granted, I was a kid and, I'm gullible and everything.
But not even that, like, say, not long ago. Like, a couple of years ago, say.
I really don't know. I really don't know. It's hard. I'll have to think of a better way of wording it for when we do the podcast. But like I said, I don't believe in the whole full moon. Shit, I'm about to turn into a big dog. But maybe, do you know what I mean? Something along them lines, possibly.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I like that.
But no, like we said, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, which is Myths and Mysteries in black and white.
Yeah.
Instagram, which is Myths and Mysteries _
Yeah. Email us at mythsandmysteries@outlook.com or send us a message via the Instagram or the Facebook group.
Yeah. Follow us on YouTube, which is just Myths and Mysteries, isn't it? At the minute, but you can see it's our logo, so you should be able to see it. Yeah, you'll know the one.
And follow us on our respective podcast sites, which are Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Podchaser, Player FM, Samsung Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
See ya.